working with. So I made these a couple years ago. They've been working well, except for the fact that ever since I lowered the front of this car, you can see how low the bumper is. It's actually lower than the ramps. So a lot has changed since the last video, obviously. It's probably been 2 years, nearly 2 years now. Since I last put a YouTube video out there. I am in a new space. I wouldn't say it's a better space, but it's definitely different than last time. Last time I was in a big garage, probably like a 40 by 40, maybe bigger. Now I'm in a single car garage, since that's all I can afford right now for my own personal projects, and this happens to be it. A couple of people have asked me that since Drift Week, have I taken the car to the track at all? And yes, I have. I just, as I said, don't feel like filming when I finally have the chance not to film and do my own thing. So yes, I have. It's been great. There's been no issues with the car. I've done a lot more grip than drifting. That's because I live in a place that there is not much drifting, but there is quite a bit of grip racing. I haven't done any racing, I've just done fun track days. So that's the main difference. And I hope this mic setup works nicely, but I've seen a couple people start doing this, so figured why not? These videos are going to be pretty different to what I did originally. Damn, these air filters are filthy now that I don't have any fender liners. That's another thing. So a couple things about the car has changed since the last time. Main thing is fender liners are gone, car's way lower, different suspension settings, and of course less of a garage to work in. So I have less space, less light. I usually get in here about 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when markets close, and I don't want to look at the closed market, so gives me an excuse not to stare at my computer. The only good thing about this space is that it's much more secure, so I can leave more stuff in here. I think I'm going to change this front bumper quite a bit. I've got a few projects that I want to do, that's why I started thinking about filming these again. I want to cut out this from the front bumper. Don't really want to get a whole new bumper just yet, because I know that I'll immediately thrash the car around and probably break the bumper. So I'll use this one until it's completely done. I'll just change it up a bit so it looks a little better. A couple of the things that have happened is that the car has sustained a bit more damage since the last time. All cosmetic though, nothing mechanically wrong at all with this thing, which is great. Am I the only one who double checks jack stands as if they've changed in the last 5 minutes? This garage is a lot cleaner than the big one. Most feedback I got when I did the old videos was that you really liked just watching me do stuff the wrong way and chat about random stuff. So let's keep that up. No, I don't have the proper tools for this. Why would I? Plans for this car kind of mixed. I would love to blow this engine up and replace it with a good engine. Everybody knows the engines on these probably the worst thing that Nissan has ever made. Well, actually, this is the best of the worst. This is the HR. So it doesn't have oil problems. Still slow, sounds like shit, and only has 6 cylinders. It does only have 30,000 miles on it though. Meticulously maintained, never hit red line. It's actually only been driven by a grandma. But no jokes, the engine is probably very, very healthy, and it'll take me a while to blow it up. So got a few plans on how to start that journey. Drift Week was step 1. Step 2 was grip racing, because everything just got way too hot for too long. And now everything needs to start looking more actually race car-y. We'll take the AC out. I don't use it anyways. Thinking about actually getting the engine tuned. New intakes and maybe a better, whatever you call it. I think this piece actually helps quite a lot with cooling because it keeps the air forced into the radiator and not blown over. What I think I also want to do is put some hood vents in, not just to add 52 horsepower, but to clear out the heat that happens right about here. Not exactly sure where that lands, probably in these divots here, which would be great because I can just drill those out, 3D print some walls so it sucks the air straight up through the wheel well and through that, and then all this air coming through this front bumper that I'll honestly cut this whole section out so it's just a huge hole straight into the radiator and the oil cooler, and then the rest just shoots up through the wheel well, cools off the air intakes. Probably even a better air intake than waiting for the air to come through here, because that's supposedly what it should do, is come through here. I don't know why that was a good idea. Well, I actually think stock intakes come down here, don't they? No, they don't. They go here. There's no fucking way. This new kind of hangout style video is probably going to be what I'm going to go with for now. Because I said taking videos, making videos the right way, which means scripting and everything. It's probably one of the last things I want to do right now. And the reason is, because that's what I do every day, all day, for work. So just to show you how good these mounts are from Z1, this somehow survived getting hit numerous times at high velocity by the street, as you can see. I mean, look at that. That's not evidence of your car is too low for this city. I don't know what is. But because of the bushing and this that they give you, which is basically like a mounting nut for the plates that are already built into the subframe, the threads are completely fine and the bolts aren't broken. Honestly, I have no idea how they did that. I'm glad that service rack came off nicely. Doesn't look like it should. What's cool about this plug is that I've got a magnet on the other side of it, so I can tell if my engine's falling apart by seeing how much metal is on the other side of this. Ooh, I'll admit that I did 2 track days without changing the oil. I don't think I've seen thicker and blacker oil than that. We do have some shit on the plug though. That's good news. Nice. That means you can get a new engine soon. So usually what the plug has on it is just a bit of oil and pieces of metal. Take the oil off so you can see the metal shards nicely. And if you're wondering, it's a Greddy plug. And that is what it looks like with no metal shavings on it. So definitely a bit of meat came off the bones. How tight do you tighten your oil filters? Because usually it's just hand tight, it says. But depending who changed your fucking filter, there's lots of variability in hand strength. So I guess there are some good things about this engine, such as not sure why they couldn't make this engine take exactly 5 quarts of oil and 1/8 quart. Which for my brain, I don't understand what the fuck that means, so. Whoever designed these things should live a hard life. It's actually kind of crazy. You can see the tint that is on it has saved it from so many rock chips. It's just dent after dent in the chip, and then you can see that it doesn't actually go through to the plastic. So these are actually in pretty good shape. Take the screen protector off and it's brand new. Also, why are there two horns? There's one horn here, and the other one over here. While we're here, might as well take this shit off. So I never use it. It's always empty. Just takes up room. Now, I'm definitely not an expert in wiring, but correct me if I'm wrong. All of these run to the ECU or the ECM, and if I keep them just the way they are, I should be able to, in future, reprogram to use them as different sensors or even power. I'm not exactly sure how wiring works that well, because if that's possible, then that'd be very cool. Maybe they put two horns in here, because one points backwards and that one is supposedly pointing forwards. Kind of want to redirect them so that they both point directly forwards. Just for fun. I wonder if this bar is going to be visible if I take this grill out. And I think it is. I do want to get a crash bar, actual crash bar. But this is pretty good to tie, stiffen the chassis, so I'm not going to take it off just yet. I'll leave it on, make sure that I don't cut this grill too low. If you can just see this. This oil cooler's seen better days. Could probably straighten out a bunch of these. Yeah. Not sure if this is actually going to change much. Couple things I want to do while the car's up. Let's take off these wheels so I can change those tires to some 255s, because these a little too low, and I can't do an oil change on that thing while this is here, so I'm gonna take that to the shop, take the wheels to the shop at the same time so they can change the tires for me. So I do have two options. I have the 200 tread wear or the 300 tread wear. And I think I'll go with the 200 for the fronts because I really like these tires. Oh, they're so much lighter than street tires, it's ridiculous. These are the ones I'll be using for the fronts. Right now I have two 85s on the back. They're pretty good. Those are street tires right now. Just burn them until they need to be replaced. I mentioned that I painted these headlights a few years ago. I don't think I've ever shown it, but you can see this usually is all reflective silver, and this is also reflective silver, and then this is also reflective silver. Then the entire strip down here is reflective silver, so best thing to do is black that out and make it actually look good. Now, one of the main things I wanted to do while I had the car up for the oil change anyways was to modify this bumper. I don't care who convinces themselves that the 370Z looks good. It just doesn't, and part of it is because the bumper is just round. There's no nice aggressive angles. The Nismo bumper looks better, but it still doesn't look good. I am going to start with tearing off pieces that I don't like about this bumper. I guess I'll just cut it out for now, and then if I want to put a grate in later, I will, but I'm not worried about rocks flying at the radiator. I don't live in that kind of place. So what I'm thinking is pretty much chopping this front box off. It really does nothing at all for structure. There's a couple pieces here that I can unbolt. I don't know what that gives me access to, but if you look at the bumper from the front, this looks terrible. So I think the first step in making this look slightly decent is cutting this entire plastic section off. I think that the crash bar goes behind here, so I'll start off right under here, cutting that and seeing what that looks like. Now, in terms of cutting tools, I do have a few options, but I do have to sort this workbench out. These are the lights that came out the sides of the bumper. I don't think I'll ever use them again. I'll probably trim that tab off, trim this tab off. Hand sawing might be the best way to do the first part. These actually make for good handles. Not a bad look. It's exactly what I wanted to see. This is still the ugly part. So if you look at it from this angle, even with that grill taken out, there's still those ends that I still think should come out, even though it'll expose a little bit more of the framework behind the grill. Unfortunately, until I get a crash bar, this top section has to stay. But I do like the look of everything being open. This actually might work very well. So these pieces, they just seem like airflow restrictors. But if you look at that, if I just cut this in half, it will open it up quite a bit while also providing this layer of protection for the oil cooler lines. Alright, so for this one, I'll just slowly go around it with my Dremel and a cutting wheel, which is probably the most precise I can get it for now, and it's probably as much as I want to get it precise. Not exactly in the business of making this car a show car. And because of the fact that I prefer function over form for this car, I think this is perfect. Because one massive issue with this car is the amount of heat that it just soaks the engine bay with. It's already a hot engine. There's no flow out of the hood. Now without the fender liners there, that helped a lot. Temp stayed pretty low most of the time. but still doesn't help everything, that's for sure. And that is exactly what I wanted to cut off. Alright, so since I don't have any more cutting wheels, I'm going to try and use this small cutting wheel on the Dremel because right now the shop's closed, so I can't go buy anymore. Now the issue with this one is that there's no real grip to it, it's just the screw holding it on. It's not the nice one that has a mount for it. Just need to go get a set that has a lot of cutting tools on it, because I have used all of mine up. That is what's nice about the Dremel family of tools, is they're pretty easy to find in full sets. And that actually works very well. Well, oh, forgot to do these brackets. Well, this cutting wheel worked way better than I thought it would. It's like plastic welded onto there though. Well, what I think I'll do tomorrow is clean this all up and install it and see what that looks like. See ya. Compared to that, these $3 each.